Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality.
This Top 10 intro is brought to you by VectorStar Productions.
I'm pretty sure you didn't expect this top 10, but hey, we're taking a quick break from the mainstream clickbait stuff. Today, I talk about the god-awful Super Monkey Ball Jr. on the Game Boy Advance. It is impressive that they got this game on a GBA cart, but it plays like trash, and honestly it just sucks. Keep in mind, these stages are so hard that I can't even complete most of them. That's how ridiculous these freaking levels are. Alright boys and gals, without further ado, let's go! Wow, great name for the stage realism. Master 2, how creative. All the stages have these types of names. They're so memorable, like OMG! Master 2 is a stage that looks beatable, but it would take a lot of practice to pull off. You start by going down a hill, which is actually kind of fun, but then you'll make a sharp turn, and that's when things get all crazy. You'll see a bunch of small platforms moving from side to side, and you have to traverse yourself across while they move. This may look like a simple task, but the gravity of your character is all wonky, and you feel completely out of control. This is honestly where I get stuck in the level. I can't get used to all the random change in the gravity. I have beaten the stage, but still. On top of that, you have to go through 2 of these sections back to back. Are you kidding me, game? If you do manage to get through that part, the rest of the stage is pretty easy. So this is the last stage you play on Expert Mode, and it starts off with a bunch of rotating dicks. I'm not even trying to be funny, the platforms are literally shaped like dicks. I mean, hey, sex sells, am I right? Getting through the rotating wangs isn't too terribly difficult. The next part is where things get tricky. There's some spikes on the side that alternatively move towards the platform you're on. If you touch one of those spikes, your monkey will fall and die. What makes this so hard is that the platform you're on is so freaking skinny. It's really hard to just balance on it. If you get through that, you'll be approached by this rotating skinny platform that you have to hop on. This is where I die a lot because the platform is rotating too fast for me to be able to keep my balance. Even if I do get past that part, my time will be too low to make any further progress. Expert 30 seems beatable for sure, but man, it would take a lot of practice. Number 8. If you're like me, you don't feel guilty putting in cheat codes for bad games. To unlock Expert Extra 2, you're supposed to play through all the Expert stages without dying more than 3 times. Since that's humanly impossible, I put in a cheat code to unlock the stage, so screw it. Anyway, this is yet another stage that doesn't look that bad until you actually play it. You simply need to make your monkey up a few hills to avoid some holes. The problem is that the slant on these hills is just high enough that it makes it really hard to stay in control. You may get your monkey up to a flat platform, but it requires you to fiddle with the joystick and you have to make fast adjustments to make sure you don't fly off the stage or through one of the holes. Since this game doesn't have any depth perception despite looking like it does, making the adjustments to balance out your extra speed is insanely difficult to pull off. Even if you do get near the top, the final flat platform with the goal has a teeny tiny corner to get across. I'm sorry, but getting across this corner is hard enough when the ground is flat. Super Monkey Ball Jr. should have been called Super Monkey Ball, the Troll Edition. Number 7. Remember those corners I was talking about like 10 seconds ago? That's what most of Expert 15 consists of. You travel from tile to tile by the corners. You know, this stage might be a fun challenge if the game actually had good controls, but no, instead it actually makes the stage really unfair. To make matters worse, the camera is especially bad, and you sometimes have to predict and guess where you need to move next. After playing the stage for a bit, I can get used to moving across by the corners, but making just one wrong button input leaves you to your death. Now I have actually beaten the stage, but only from sheer dumb luck. What's hilarious is that when you get to the goal, you'll actually see more stage that you could choose to take, as that would lead to an alternative goal pull. What makes it so funny is that there's no godly way I'd ever consider trying to get to this goal because I'm already amazed at being able to make it to the first one. And you know what the worst part is? This game is nowhere done with these corner stages. They get more ridiculous. Number 6. You see what I mean? Look at Expert 26. This stage doesn't even have the courtesy to have a couple large platforms for support. Literally, all of this is just moving from corner to corner. You can take a shorter or longer route. The longer route will take you through a goal pole to skip a few levels. However, nobody is foolish enough to actually try to do that because everyone that's sane will just use the cheat codes. Could they really have not made the platforms just a tad bit bigger? This stage is just way too long, and it's so easy to make a simple mistake. The camera is so bad. Most of the turns that you have to make require very precise input, which is hard to do when you can't see where you're going.
Number 5.
Master 1 starts off simple, but it gets intense really fast. The first thing to note is the amount of time we have to complete this stage. The normal time frame we get is 60 seconds to beat a stage and 30 seconds for the really short stages. For Master 1, we have a long stage and only 30 seconds to complete it. I mean, really, 30 seconds? You look at the length and think that maybe it's possible to beat in a minute, but 30 seconds is just way too constricted. The stage starts you off with a quick turn and you'll proceed to a skinny downhill part. This hill is a pain because it shifts to the right really quickly and it's hard to stay on while going so fast. After that, there's a section where you have to balance on this tiny platform while it moves from one side of the stage to the other. Once you get across that, you'll have like 5 seconds on the clock, but still 10 miles of stage to cover. I don't know how someone can beat this stage in such a short amount of time. It's complete bullcrap if you ask me.
Number 4.
Oh man, another Master stage. This time we have Master 5. This is like Master 1 in that 30 seconds is nowhere near enough time to complete the task at hand. You'll start by going forward, seeing a gap in the platforms, bounce off the edge, and die. This is where most people would whip the game out of the Game Boy and throw it in the trash if they hadn't done that already, but there's a way past it. You're supposed to back up a little bit to gain a little extra speed. This is so hard because the platform that you have to work with is so tiny, and going full speed on it is challenging. I don't know why the game felt the need to add the gap at the beginning. Was it really not hard enough already? Sometimes even when you get a little extra speed, it still isn't enough to get across. You'd think this would be the number 1 on the list considering it's the last stage you unlock in the game, but there's far worse ones than this.
Number 3.
So this stage is a lot like Master 5 where there's a stupid gap at the beginning, but thankfully it's easier to get across. You do still have to gain extra speed, which is freaking dumb if you ask me. It's not saying much though because the rest of this stage is near impossible. There's lots of narrow paths and plenty of corners to run across for good measure. I don't know what it is, but I just can't make very much progress. It looks like a stage I could get at least halfway through, but I die a lot near the beginning. I think the main problem here is that the camera is atrocious. I know I keep saying the camera is really bad, but no. This stage in particular, it's just loathsome. You always have to move from the side perspective instead of the front. It's like trying to drive a car, but only being able to see your side view mirrors.
Number 2.
If you're an old fan, you remember me talking about this stage called Exam C. This is almost an exact replica of that stage. It's even on the same floor number as it was in the original. You start by going up a hill, which is easy, but the next part will have you go up an even steeper hill. It's so steep that you honestly wonder if it's even possible to get up there. I can't even get past this hill most of the time, simply because the controls are so broken. All that happens is you try to run up the hill, and then you die. Rinse and repeat. You just don't make progress. I've made it across one time, but by then you're completely drained and frustrated that you end up slipping off somewhere and dying anyway. Expert 7 is a pain, but there's one that's 10 times worse than this one.
And now, the number 1 hardest Super Monkey Ball Jr. stage is...
Before I say anything, just look at what happens.
Go! Ball out!
Just look at it. Look at it. No, really, look at it. You go forward and you die. You get as much extra speed as you possibly can and you die. You approach the platform at the side and you die. You die, you die, you die, 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 die. Sorry, AVGN, for ripping off your quote. It's just that it perfectly describes Expert 19. I don't even know what else to say about this level. It's literally impossible, and I'm not going to be that scrub that looks up a video on how to beat this level. Like it matters, though. I doubt anybody even plays this game or played it at the time. I really prefer the classic Monkey Ball games on the GameCube, and don't forget to leave a like or dislike. Feel free to leave a comment, let me know if you've ever played this game, and if you have, what do you think are the hardest stages? Make sure to hop on the bandwagon and follow my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr. Thank you guys and gals for watching, and just remember that if you love life, you'll find that life will love you back.
Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed that video. Hey look, a top 10 hardest Monkey Ball 2 stages. That's very similar to this one. And top 10 best Kirby copy abilities? Not Monkey Ball related, but hey, round things are cool, okay? They're really cute. And let's play Mortal Kombat 2 this week? Wow, that's really awesome. Hey look, I don't even know what else to say. Just have fun, have a good life, yeah.